Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Protecting ourselves from energy vampires, energy parasites, little energy buggers, right? Little energy mosquitoes, right? They'll prick you with their little nastiness and then suck your energy right out of you. Someone asked me, hey, how can we protect ourselves from this? Well, that's very funny that you should bring that up. Got a couple ideas we can talk about here. And want to recommend a book, at least an author, one of my favorites. And it's in the comments below. He's one of the ones I've been listing down there for eons and truly one of my favorite authors. James Redfield. He wrote Celestine Prophecies. He wrote The 10th Insight, Secrets of Shambhala or something like that. At least those are the key three ones that I just love, absolutely love. I think I've got them all linked below. If not, look for James Redfield. Great stuff. And it really gets into, one, energy dynamics, which is what I think protecting our energy from parasites is all about. Also talks about kind of how thought transmissions sort of work on an energetic standpoint. And it really gets into the way your path will sort of light itself for you. When we're trying to manifest things and we're putting all this stuff out into the universe, and we're like, I'd like to create this reality. I want this reality to come. This is what I'm imagining. It's out here. This is this thing. Here I am right now. That's okay because I'm heading towards it, right? I'm on my way. I'm taking the walk down the street. I know my friend's house is down on the right side at the very end of the street, and I'm going to leave my front door right now. I know I got to walk down the street. There's no way. It's going to take me as long as it takes me to get there. I could run. I could walk, whatever. Fact of the matter is, once I get to my location, then I'll be good. What this does is this is kind of like streetlights, and it helps show you where you need to go. It helps show you who you might need to talk to. There's interesting little energetic signs that you will get. So all of these things, I think, tie in together. So I wanted to kind of start with that because energy, to me, is one of the key components of this whole law of attraction thing. What we're vibrating at, that's energy. What we're sending out to others, that's energy. All of this stuff is energetics. It's why it's instant. It's why it's speed of light or faster. It's the speed of instant, whatever that is, right? So it's very, very awesome how energetics work. So the way energy vampires work, at least the way James Redfield describes it, and I still think this is probably one of the best descriptions. I haven't come across a better one yet. But there's really 4 ways that we give our energy to others. Now, I know the question is, how do we protect ourselves from people trying to take our energy? Okay, well, first off is acknowledging the fact that we give it to them. We choose to give it to them, no matter who they are. They could be your boss, they could be your parent, they could be your lover, doesn't really matter. By the way we interact with them, we give them our energy. Now, there's 4 ways people will attempt to take your energy from you. And if you respond to these actions, these 4 different approaches, you will give your energy away. You will find that you feel tired. You will find that you have a hard time kind of replenishing your energy. You will find that you're sleepy and tired all the time, that you're exhausted. Your patient levels are low. It's because you're wasting your energy. You're scattering your energy. You're giving it willy-nilly to anybody that wants it. And that's not a good approach, especially when you're trying to make changes and good changes in your life, and then you get all these people over here sucking energy out of you, or you giving it to them, and that starts to actually interfere with your thoughts, with your happiness, with what you're trying to create in your life. So the first way, and probably the one that most of us fall into accidentally, we do it a lot, we do it very frequently, and it's one of those things you've got to stop yourself from doing. First off, if you're doing it to others, definitely others are going to do it to you, and should, because you're creating that same energy frequency to the universe, so the universe is just giving it back to you. But it's the poor me. It's the woe is me. My life is so much worse than your life. Everything's going wrong in my life. My life sucks. I wish I was better. You feel how draining that sounds. It's exhausting just hearing me say it. It's when we give to them, we're like, I'm sorry, what's going on? Wow, I'm sorry your life is so bad. Let me give you some of my energy so you feel better for the moment. And that's what we do. They feel bad. They talk about how horrible their life is. And then we say, no, everything's great. You're awesome. You're the best. I love you. And then they walk away. And then tomorrow they'll come right back to you and they want more energy because you've become a replacement for something they should be doing inside. So they come to you. They come to you with their poor me stories and how horrible their life is because you always give energy back to them. So do you have a friend that does this to you on a regular basis? Make yourself less available. First off, even if this is quote unquote a friend, but this is your relationship, you don't really have much of a friendship. No offense. No offense, that is not a friendship. You are not in a friendship with someone. You have a relationship. You maybe know somebody, maybe have conversations with somebody. There may be a pal or buddy at work, but this is not a friend, right? Friends don't do that. Friends have deeper relationships than that. It's not just about, I'm going to complain about my life, and then you're going to tell me everything's better. So one of the key ways is to lessen the amount of time we spend with those friends. I don't care if it's your best friend. I mean, I really don't. Still hang out with them from time to time, but I would recommend either A, spending time on other ventures more, right? Maybe you hang out with them 4 times a week. Well, why don't we cut it back to 3 or 2? And if they ever ask, you'd be like, look, you're kind of negative, and I don't really have room in that in my life. There's a lot of things that I'm working towards and trying to do, and I'd love to talk about that with you, but you seem to frequently be upset about a lot of stuff, and it's hard for me to be around, frankly. I think life's pretty good. I'm enjoying the journey I'm on. I'm doing the best I can. I don't know. It doesn't feel as bad to me that I feel you always talking about. So that's one of the ways we can deal with that, is pull it away. Now, you're not going to have a boss typically. You could have a parent that is constantly poor meing. Again, if you choose to pump them up, you are giving them your energy. Consciously, you are giving them your energy. They can't take it from you. They can't physically make you say nice things to them, because that's ultimately giving them, right? So you choose to do this. So be mindful of it, see that you're doing it, and then you can do something about it. Then you can stop it. Then you can hang out with other people that seem to be more positive, even if this is a friend you've known for 20 years. It's okay. You might still be friends for another 20 years, or maybe it's time to find new friends. It happens. I've definitely had to walk away from good friends because they were toxic. They weren't helpful. They weren't helping my life grow, and I certainly wasn't really capable of helping them because, again, I felt like I was always trying to pump energy into them, and that's not a relationship. That's the codependence. That's bad, right? Unhealthy relationship. So something to consider. All right, number 2, really common one that we also come across a lot is aloof. People that are aloof. People that are either A, so educated, so intelligent, they tend to make you feel bad, right? They tend to make you feel inferior. And that's kind of how that one tends to play out. So, you can have professors, parents will fall into this, bosses frequently will fall into this. And it's them being that way. They're aloof. You can't take that away. It's when we question our abilities. It's when we start to sabotage ourselves. It's when we doubt what we're capable of. That's when we're giving them our energy. We're letting them push us down, and we're looking and listening to what they're saying and going, yeah, you're right. You're right. I am sucky. You are way better than I am. You are way better than I could ever hope to be. And the aloof person's like, yeah, damn straight. I just took your energy. Thank you. I love that. It makes me feel better, right? I feel better at your expense. But you don't have to feel that way. You don't have to do that. Your boss is being all aloof and whatever. It's like, okay, and what would you like me to do, sir? Okay, awesome, right? Keep it to the facts. Get it in email, get it in writing, get them to tell you specifically what it is, and try to get the conversation focused back onto the matter at hand rather than them trying to make themselves look and feel better about who they are. That's great. Let them do that. That's fine. You don't need to stop it, but it's when you doubt yourself that you're giving them the energy. It's when you put yourself less than them that you're giving them your energy. Just because they're your boss, or just because they're the president of the United States, or just because they're prime minister or what are such and such, doesn't make them better than you. Doesn't make them a better. The fact that someone's got 20,000 subs on a YouTube channel versus 2,000 subs on a YouTube channel, it doesn't make them better. It's not. It's an issue of we're all doing the best we can, right? So if I look at someone else, compare myself, and then go, oh, I suck. Yeah, you just let them aloof you out of some energy, right? It's kind of similar anyways. So again, that's a place where we have to kind of grab the bull by the horns, right? And we have to try to do something about it by not giving them the energy, by not allowing ourselves to feel poorly about ourselves and all those things. So aloof people will suck that energy from you as well. And they're easy to spot. They're usually the ones that are kind of just, I don't want to say DBs, which stands for something that's a little horrible, but they tend to be the ones that will put you in your place, that always seem like and feel like they're smarter than everybody else. It's that person that when they walk into a room, they know they're the smartest person in the room, even though all the other smart people in the room are like, this guy's an idiot. It's typically that kind of persona that tends to express a lot of that aloof stuff. Now, another one that's really big, and this is something that I think a lot of us fall into as well, is the interrogator. Now, an interrogator would be something like a police detective, right? They're going to question you. They're going to question the crap out of you. Now, asking questions is one thing, but asking questions to the point where you're just basically having someone break down their life, break down every moment they did of the day, break down every thought they had, break down every emotion they were feeling at the moment, break down every possible negative thought they were having in the situation. Where were you last night? What were you doing last night? Who were you with last night? What time did you get home? Why didn't you call me? Blah, blah, blah. That's interrogation. That is hardcore interrogation. And it creates a very imbalanced relationship. Now, granted, if trust is messed up in a relationship, and that's why you find yourself interrogating, look at the root cause. I frequently talk about this. Trust is the root cause. You don't trust this individual. Now, is there a way to trust that, to gain that trust back? Maybe. Are you able to forgive and forget? Maybe. If you're not, and trust is an issue, relationship's toast. It's toast. If you can't get past that, the relationship's toast. And now you find yourself in an interrogator situation where you're now the energy vampire, and you're trying to get all these answers out of somebody you don't trust because you don't trust them. You don't trust what they said. They said, I was out with my friends last night. Really? Where'd you guys go? Really? What time did you get back? I had a friend that was there last night. They didn't see you. Right? You start going into these hold patterns. You start putting spies on them. You start giving your energy to this person. Now, you do as an interrogator because you're doing it out of fear a lot of the times. But then when you start questioning them, you're trying to take their energy now. You're starting to put them into a little corner, into a little place. And I'm sure it's happened to many of us too, right? Where we've got someone that's asking questions. Your boss is asking you all sorts of questions. You've been busy, but you're having a hard time justifying where you've been spending your time because he sees this one deliverable that's not happened. But you've been working on these 5 other requests that people keep hitting you up on. Sometimes you just got to lay it out and be like, well, you're right, sir. And I do this frequently because I work on multiple projects. We get hit by multiple people, and I've got 3 different projects that are the highest priority. And it's constantly going back to my boss and going, look, all these extra requirements were just put on us. What do you want me to make number 2? Because we can't do all these things. We're a team that's capable of so much work. We'll bust through it at some point, but I need you to help me decide what's the priority. So if you're one of these people that has multiple things on your plate, maybe your boss isn't aware of that. Let them know. Do it in the right way. Have your ducks in a row. Have some documentation. Be able to prove what you're saying. Obviously, don't just say, yeah, I'm just really busy. Well, your boss, you're probably going to get fired, or maybe you do have issues with time management. You could. That's always a possibility. So then in that case, even too, maybe ask your boss for some tips and pointers on how to be better at time management. See if they've got any suggestions. Because really, if you are having a hard time with that and you're being interrogated because of it, well, let's put this to a stop. Your boss is going to be happier, most likely, if he doesn't have to interrogate the crap out of you, right? Because now he's going to trust you. Trust is kind of a key part, I think, of the interrogator situation. But now he's going to trust you. Now you're delivering like you're supposed to. And now you're communicating better with your boss like you're supposed to. And in all relationships, these are important things. Communication, trust, right? Like keeping those lines open and making sure that we're chatting and being receptive to what they have to say. And hopefully, if the relationship is somewhat balanced, they're going to be receptive to what you have to say. Keep those things in mind. Interrogation, very, very dangerous way to suck away energy. So again, it's how we respond to these things. If someone's interrogating the crap, you'd be like, whoa, what's the deeper problem here, right? Like stop the interrogation right off the bat. Put a stop to it. Take ownership of what's happening and say, look, I know you got questions. Let's talk about it, but you're not going to just grill me. This ain't happening. No. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your honesty, your truth, and certainly stand up for your energy. They're trying to take your energy. Stop it. Whoa, what's going on here? What are you upset about? You're asking a lot of questions. You seem a little upset. What's going on? And you sort of tend to disarm them a little bit when you take it from that, and then you get to the core of their problem, which is why they're interrogating you to begin with, right? So when you can get to the core of the problem and solve that, well, the other things start to go away. So turning the interrogator into a friend again, well, simply just try to understand where they're coming from. Come to the root of that. Listen to what they have to say. They may have legitimate arguments against you. You may be at fault. You need to be able to step up to the plate and understand that if this is mine to own, I'll own it. And if it's not, I'll help them understand that. But trying to deflect blame when it is your fault, that's going to get you in a worse place. And now, again, you're kind of stealing energy too. Accept what you're doing in your life. Accept what you've done in your life. Accept who you are in your life. And you will go way further than if we're constantly trying to shun away and dodge and block and woo, all this stuff, like go Matrix on it as it goes flying by. Like if that's what you're trying to do, yeah, you're probably causing more energetic issues in your life because you're not being very forthcoming. You're not being straight to the point. Now, the last one that really comes into play, and this one we don't notice as much, but when we do, it's a bit on the scary side. And I know women, unfortunately, this probably affects you in some relationships. Some women, of course. Not all, by any means. But the intimidator. It's that person that kind of uses their physical size, their strength, their voices, their loud voices, if you will. Maybe even poor word choices that are very intimidating or offensive, or they put you down. It's that person that is directly putting you down. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They either A, want to go to blows with you, they want to fight with you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they are there to impose their size on you or to make you feel inferior. And the intimidators are kind of the scary ones, really. They're harder to tell what's going to happen. You don't really know when they're going to snap or blow their lid. And when they do, it can be bad. It can be violence. It can be harm. These are the people, generally, that you need to get away from. I know there's going to be people out there that are like, can I use law of attraction to change someone that's an intimidator? You can use it, but there's no promises that they're going to change. I mean, a lot of us are on life paths for a reason. We might be jerks, and we might be jerks to lots of people. And we might have been a jerk to the 20th person in our lives in a relationship, and that was the one that finally got us because as they were walking out the door, they turned back and said, "You're always so mean." And maybe they just didn't get that. Maybe they didn't realize they were being jerks. They just happened to be that way. Maybe they were in the military. I know it's common in some cases where people that were trained in the military kind of messes with your sensibilities. It messes with your ability to be sensitive. Now, for those of you out there that have served, thank you. Even if you've served in other countries, thank you for what you've done for your people. But for those that are intimidators, that's kind of a different story. Even if you've helped our country, I appreciate that. Yes, again. But if you're being mean to people, that's not okay. Come on, man. Work on it. But again, all these things come down to they're dangerous. You got to be careful. If you've got an intimidator in your life, I recommend finding a way to get away from them, period. If it's a boss that's intimidating you, one, that's against the law in most countries. If you can't seem to find a way to turn it around that way, I would either look at maybe trying to transfer or I would look at a new job. I have found when you try to make your boss change, you will find yourself in a very frustrated place, and you will oftentimes find the success rate may not play out quite like you wanted, especially in the case of an intimidator. I've certainly had bosses that were interrogators. I've had bosses that were aloof, and I've been able to handle those fine. And in fact, in a lot of cases, I generally gain their respect at some point, and then the relationship goes away. Again, I don't give my energy easily. I will to people. I'll give them 1, 2, maybe even 3 times. After that, I cut the line. You're done. I'm not giving you any more energy at all. At all. I just let somebody establish a pattern with me. I don't even feel like I need to tell them what the issue is. I will literally just kind of cut the energy ties and be like moving on. And if they hit me up and ask, I'll be like, look, I've been really busy lately. Don't have time. You don't need to tell them, look, you're a jerk. I hate hanging out with you. That's not nice, right? So if you're a nice person and you feel bad saying that, don't. Just be like, I'm busy doing other things. That's not a lie. You're just not fully being truthful. It's not a problem. I don't think anyway. So again, intimidators are people that I highly recommend you try to figure out a way to get away. If you're in a relationship with one, you can try to use law of attraction, but in all honesty, you're probably in an abusive relationship. And abusive people will eventually maybe find the right place in life where they can face this abusive behavior and make a difference. But I will be honest, a lot of the times those things come from someone they deeply love walking away from them for good. Not walking away and looking back and seeing if they're paying attention. No, I mean walking away, rounding the corner, and starting to jog. Like you're getting away from this situation, period. Again, I know you could use law of attraction to try to resolve the problem, or you could use law of attraction to attract a way better person in your life. It's that self-love thing that we frequently talk about. If you're willing to let someone abuse you because your self-love is in question, or because we quote, I love him, right? That's the thing you hear a lot. You got to be careful because, yeah, I know you love him. I get that. And he probably loves you. But that intimidation is dangerous. It can end up in violence. If it hasn't yet, it can escalate. And it can escalate even further than violence. There's been plenty of cases where if you're really with someone that's deranged and has problems, that can really end badly for you. So keep these things in mind. If someone is truly an evil person or truly just so caught up in their own worlds that they don't care about anyone else, they're incapable of being emotionally open to others, they're incapable of service to other behavior. Like sometimes there's people that just aren't wired the same way we are, and you can't change them. That's how they are. That's who they are. That is, I know a lot of people want to say it's us pushed out. In that case, no. If someone's a jerk, someone's a jerk. It's not because it's you pushed out. You're not making him a jerk. He's been a jerk to every person he's ever talked to in his whole life. Now, if you're in a relationship with him, that's us pushed out. You attracted this jerk. Something about you and your energy required someone to be like that in your life so you could feel good or comfortable or right or where you're supposed to be. So you need to look at that and go, I deserve better than this, don't I? So intimidators are the scary ones. Intimidators are the ones that are dangerous, and intimidators are the ones that seem to be the hardest for us to get away from sometimes. So those are ones that be really, really careful with. So the 4 ways we give energy, 4 ways we take energy as well. Kind of works both ways. So be mindful, but it's the poor me. Most of us have done this many a time. My life sucks. Everything's horrible. Help me, help me, help me. Okay, I got you. I got you. Your life does suck. Go ahead and go down over there. I'm going to go over here, okay? Because I don't really want to listen to it anymore. You've got the aloof person, right? They're better than everybody, want to make you feel stupid. You've got the interrogator, probably trust issues, but whatever the case is, they question the crap out of you. Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? Why were you there? How long were you there? Blah, blah, blah. Ah, stop asking me so many questions. I did it. I was wrong. I killed the butler with the candlestick in the library. Ah, damn it, you caught me. Okay, well, there you go. Now we got that covered. And finally, the intimidator. Eesh. Stay away from the intimidators. The intimidators are scary people. I think each and every one of us have known intimidators, certainly probably even dated intimidators. I actually dated a woman one time that scared the crap out of me that was very violent. Our relationship did not last long because of her violence. And in my case, like, at this point in my life, you've yet to strike anybody in anger. Like, I've been pretty good about maintaining I punched a wall once, broke a knuckle, learned a very valuable lessons. Walls are far tougher than I am, right? I learned. But being violent to others is something that is very dangerous, and it should not be tolerated. And again, like I said, I left the relationship. I was afraid that it would turn into something where I might be put into a situation where I get violent, which, again, I've not been there in my life, but I would hate to have that happen. Or to the point where, in this country here, literally, someone, all they have to do is just call the cops and say, yeah, he hit me. And the cops show up and take me to jail. There's no questions about it, whether I hit her or not. There's no questions about it. So when you have people like that in your life, especially gentlemen out there, be careful. Be careful. If you're with someone that's a little shady and weird and crazy, dude, all it takes is one phone call and you're the one that's ending up in jail. It could be your house that they're at. And they call the cops and say you abused them. You're going to jail and trying to explain how you didn't. And they get to stay in your house. So dangerous people do dangerous things. Stay away from the intimidators. I can't stress that enough. If you're in a relationship with an intimidator, find a friend that you trust. Start talking to them. Get some help. Whatever you need to do. Intimidators are people to stay away from. I hope this helps. Energy mosquitoes, energy vampires. People will suck the life right out of you if you give them a chance. So now you're armed with information. You understand how it works, and you understand how to stop it. And most importantly, you maybe understand how you're doing this to others. And that, if you want to have a healthy relationship, if you want to have better friendships, if you want to enhance the quality of your life by being less of an energy thief yourself, you will actually find life will improve greatly because you'll start to empower yourself. You'll start to invigorate your own energy. You don't need other people to give you energy. There's so many people that need an outside thing to make them feel good. Again, that's a good sign that there's an energy dynamic at work within you, and you're not able to refill your own energy coffers, if you will, and instead, it requires you to get energy from others. That's vampiric. That's when you're stealing energy from others. Maybe they're willingly giving it to you, but you're taking it. That's not right. really we should try to be more of givers. Again, what we push out is what comes back to us. So if you're sending out love and energy is coming back to you. It's good stuff that way. If you're sending out negative, animosity, mean stuff, that's what you're getting more of. So many people justify bad behavior because someone did it to them yesterday. So I'm going to do it to somebody today. What that does is yesterday happened because of something you did the day before. And now that you're doing it again, it's going to happen again tomorrow. And then you're going to say, well, because this keeps happening to me, I'm going to keep doing it to other people. And yet it keeps happening to you, and you keep doing it to other people, and you keep wondering how you get out of this. Well, stop doing it to other people. Stop doing it to other people. Even if it happens 2 or 3 more times after you stop doing it to other people, so you're like, see, it's still happening. It's like, yeah, you've been a jerk to a lot of people for a long time. Give it a week. Give it 2 weeks. Stop doing the behavior. I don't care how many times it happens to you. Stop doing the behavior, and you will find it will stop happening to you. I dare you all to challenge me on that one. If you got a behavior that you keep doing because others keep doing it to you, stop doing it. Watch what happens. It's the same thing as these energy vampires. It's all the same thing. What we're sending out is what's coming back. Kind of keep that in mind. Understand that there's some ways that we can figure out what's going on with our energetics, and we can figure out a way to improve our situation. Hope this makes a difference for you. Appreciate you guys. Sorry, I've been really busy with work lately, so I've been having a major challenge getting more videos done, so I do apologize for that. But, you know, it is what it is. Life is grand sometimes. But anyways, more great videos coming on. Try to do some live stuff maybe this weekend. I'll see if I can put out a little promo like an hour before, so at least it gives some of you guys a chance to show up if you want. We'll figure out a cool topic. If you guys got some thoughts of something you'd love to see me talk about live on Saturday or Sunday, one of the 2 days, shoot it in the comments for this particular video, and we'll see what we can come to. Okay? Love you guys. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Dan Radio Style.